time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape. Definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up.
What's up? Episode 541. Cause we ain't done. It's P and P. Time to hang out with the family. Let's go. Hey. We out here. Hanging with the fam. P and P, episode 141. What's going on, everybody? P and P Nation in the building. Let's go, y'all. Hey. Yay. There we go. Yeah. Scope. What's up, episode 541. It's time to have some fun. All right, let's go. Have I interviewed Bob before? Yes, I have. One more time. Could have been tonight, but he's not feeling well. It's time to shine next time. Another time. But he's just fine. He'll be fine because that's my homeboy. That's my Hines. Bobby Fulton. World classic professional big time wrestling. No second guessing, y'all. Have I interviewed Eric Rowan before? Yes, I have. Very eccentric guy, but very fun. What's up, y'all? 541. Let's go. Let's have some fun as we do every week. Ricky's in the building again. How long have I been doing weekly interviews? Ooh. Weekly interviews. Ooh, wait. Probably. Okay, what is this? 22. I started P&P in 2012. I didn't get my interview until the I don't know, around 20 or 30 or so. Yeah, 30th episode is my dude Sean, indie wrestler named Onyx. And my first major interview for PNP was Elijah Burke. And then Gabby Tuft. And then yeah, I don't even know the order from then. So yeah, and then I started doing weeklies, and then I started doing probably once to twice a month, and then I started doing weekly interviews probably 2017 maybe. Sounds about right. 16, 17 is when I started doing weekly interviews. So I've been doing weekly interviews for about 5 or 6 years now. And it is not, it is, thank God I have um I stay on a good relationship with a lot of those wrestlers. That I have a really, really big Rolodex of people to contact when something happens. I found out, Bobby texted me a little after 8 o'clock today, and I went through my phone and texted a few people. A bunch of people couldn't do it. One of those people who texted was Eric Redbeard. He said he could, and there we go. He was on the show. Was I shocked that Karrion Kross and Dexter Loomis came back? No. I mean, honestly, I don't know, y'all. I'm an old school wrestling fan, y'all. I'll be honest with you. I'm old school, man, when it comes to pro wrestling. And returns of people who weren't built strong on the main roster doesn't do anything. Now, Karrion Kross, ton of potential. Really, I think he did fantastic in Impact. I think he did fantastic in NXT. The whole uh, entrance, the whole feel. I mean, just amazingly done in NXT. That main roster uh, that main roster attempt to do something with them, man, just fell flat. And we'll see. But him attacking a heel Roman Reigns or attacking Drew, who's a babyface and the number one contender for the championship, which doesn't make sense. You're attacking the number one contender who's supposed to look strong, who's a babyface, who they're already doing a very poor job making baby faces look strong. It was a weird spot. And then he looks at another heel. So he pulled a straight up heel move. He looks at the biggest heel in the company, which is Roman Reigns. And then he does the TikTok. And then now everybody's saying, oh my goodness, Karrion Kross came back. Guess who gets the short end of the stick out of all this? Drew McIntyre, your biggest babyface on SmackDown, gets the short end because everybody's, oh my God, it's Karrion Kross. Dexter Loomis hasn't been on the main roster yet, so we'll see where it goes. But this car wreck, cops coming, whatever. And I love me some cold water. There's just a feeling that you get, and it's just amazing. Cold water. Good cold water. Oh, just amazing. Just amazing. I love really cold water. Let's see. Vince spent another $5 million WWE. Alleged. It is unreported expenses right now. So could it be WWE money? Could be. Could be. Yeah, I mean, at this point, investigations happen like that all the time. When it rains, it pours. Oh man, I don't have my candles on, y'all. I gotta really help the ambiance here. What do y'all think? Should I put my candles on or keep them off? Y'all let me know. On or off today? On or off? PNP, y'all let me know what y'all want tonight. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, he's retired now. I think his retirement was very intentional, knowing that more stuff would come out. It definitely I don't think at all it was Vince McMahon's decision to retire. He would have died in gorilla if it was up to him. But attorneys and good PR agents most likely nudged him to make that decision. Because they are saying, hey, do you want to protect the WWE, your baby, or do you want to lead WWE and it all comes crashing down? He decided to retire. AEW might be doing 2 night pay-per-views. No one wants that. I agree. No one wants that. No one wants that, Ricky. No one wants that. Can you be the next trivia? You know what? You know what? Yeah, you know. I might heavily consider that, Ricky. With Karrion Kross in the picture, now does Triple H put Theory back on the back burner now? Here's my thoughts on that. So Theory, I don't know what's going on in his personal life. Definitely, him and his family are in my prayers. His uncle passed. Typically, WWE doesn't allow several weeks or to mourn the uncle passing, and I imagine that I don't know this, but I imagine the ceremonies and the funeral and things like that was probably already passed. But it could have not, and he needed some more time off. So we'll see next week if the emphasis is less and less on Theory, because Theory's kind of teetering back and forth right now with because he has the contract. So if he doesn't show up on SmackDown, which is about 2 weeks after his uncle passed, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if it is a Triple H move to not have him be on the show. It would be interesting. Who should win the Royal Rumble? That's a good question. Who should instead of who will? Who should is, in my opinion, Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley should win the Royal Rumble and go against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I want to see Lashley Reigns at WrestleMania. What's up, Lexi? Lexi is in the building. Ready for football season? Go to. I'm ready for college football season more than anything. I am a huge college football mark. I am a mark for college football. I love me some college football. I love it. I enjoy college football more than I do wrestling, pro wrestling. Love college football. Pro football, I like pro football too. Of course, y'all know I'm a big Titans fan. We got some really, really, really good signings. We got the wide receiver from Arkansas. Of course, we got Malik Willis from Liberty University, which is my alma mater as well. Hassan Haskins. Hassan. The running back from Michigan. Hassan. What's his name? Matter of fact, I put a nice graphic on who we got. Hassan. Okay. I'm not even going to spend my mind. Here we go. Yeah, I was right. Hassan Haskins. And Malik Willis from Liberty. We got Yep. Traylon Burks from Arkansas, the wide receiver. Roger McCreary, the DB from Auburn. And we got our boy, Nicholas Petit Frere from Ohio State. I'm really looking forward to this, man. I'm really, really looking forward. I mean, this is probably, I've been a Titans fan since 1996. And 22 years, 26 years. Out of 26 years, this is one of the best draft classes that we've had. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I think we got a really, really good opportunity, especially with um um Malik Willis. Um he's not going to start. Right now he's like third, but I think he should come up the pecking order. And I think that he should take the starting job from Ryan Tannehill. I think so. I think yes, Chris. Chris thinks it was a botch. Yes, indeed. Chris also thinks it was a botch, along with me. Yeah, it was a botch for sure. I would have interviewed him in the WWE. So absolutely, I would interview Vince McMahon. I would give him the hard questions. People are intimidated by Vince McMahon. I don't know. I've known wrestlers who said that they are just afraid of Vince, like WWE stars. They talked about how afraid they are of Vince. I just don't sweat people like that. I don't get afraid. I don't get intimidated by people. I'm a therapist. I go into I have a fascination with delving into the minds of people. So it's people don't intimidate me. So if Vince McMahon would have walked in my house right now, I would be a nice Christian man and say, "Hey, how's it going?" I would greet him respectfully, and I would expect. I don't know Vince. I don't have any. He doesn't have any authority over me whatsoever. So why do I? He poops and pops a squat and urinates just like I do. I mean, what is it about Vince McMahon that I need to revere like people do? I mean, I respect the heck out of what he's done for the business, but he's a person just like me. So, yeah, I would say, Vince, thank you for coming in my house and thank you for taking an interview. I mean, like I would be respectful, but hey, well, respect is given because respect is earned in my book. So if he's disrespecting me, um, he's gonna hear from me just like anybody else would. How did you get to interviewing stars? I've said it before. Just getting to the point of being different, man. That's the thing, Ricky. Being different, like having the Chris Farley effect is just it just doesn't work. Chris Farley. Let me see. Let me see. I will get back. Let me see. Y'all want the lights or not? Let me look at. Let me see. You made the co-order seem like flavored water. It says Facebook user, so I don't know who that is. So I think you maybe need to sign in, and it'll show your name. But this is, I mean, like, I'm glad you understood in a way how much I'm enjoying this. Okay. Whew, amazing. Elvis says off. What else y'all thinking? Off. Dion says on. What y'all want? We got on and off. The next one I see, that's what I'm gonna do. On or off. Because Elvis says off, Dion says on. The next one I see, the next answer I see, whether on or off, that's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna break the tie. So who's gonna break the tie? Should I turn the lights? Should I turn the candles on or off? Ricky says on. Ricky broke the tie. So I'm going to turn them on. All right. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn them on. You can hear me, though. You can hear me. I'm going to turn these lights on. These cameras. Right. All right. Ricky breaks the tie. Ricky breaks the tie. There we go. Ricky breaks the tie. Great job. All right. Where are we at? Where are we at? Hashtag Ask Doc. Those are sifting through. And if you haven't subbed to PNP, go to the Pancakes and Powerslams YouTube channel and sub. We gotta help a brother out, man. I spend so much time and energy with putting the show together. Let's get to 1,000 subs so we can get these super chats together. And if you want to donate, cash at me at Chris Prolific. That would be such a blessing. That would be such an amazing thing to y'all. I mean, like this show is listener supported. So it would be such a great, $1, 10, 20, 50. Come on, y'all. I mean, I appreciate y'all. So it's a great thing, to be able to have this show with y'all. And yeah, man, it's great. It's great stuff. There we go. There's my Cash App, y'all. So yeah, man, I hardly ever do this, but I do want to make it known that that's my Cash App, and it's a listener supported show. So thank you for all the Patreon members, and for those who want to do a one-time donation, shoot over a Cash App to at Chris Prolific, and I appreciate y'all. Let's see here. So yeah, Ricky, we were talking about interviewing stars. Yeah, man, how'd I get to interviewing stars? I was talking about Chris Farley. Chris Farley effect. Chris Farley's my all-time favorite actor, and one of the shows that he did was the Chris Farley show, and it was absolutely hilarious. He would interview big name celebrities, and he would hold index cards out, and he'd say, you remember when, and he would just give like very close-ended questions, and then they would say yes or no, and then he wouldn't have anything else to say because he would ask a close-ended question, and he would say, that was awesome. So the Chris Farley effect is wrong in two major ways. One, he looks nervous. He doesn't look confident whatsoever. And he's asking close-ended questions. And I guess a part C to that, he's asking questions that people have probably answered 1,000 times. So be different, be unique. Like, for instance, if someone comes on PNP, they're going to get a really cool countdown every week with some really cool chill hop music. They're going to get a awesome countdown. They're going to get some freestyling in the beginning. It's just a homely, loungy show as PNP. So they're going to get a different feel to it, and it's going to be fun. They're going to enjoy it. What's so funny? I actually want to show y'all something because Eric Bischoff put my show over. He put me as an interviewer over. I don't know if I ever showed y'all this. Let's see. I'm gonna find it real quick and show it to y'all. Yeah, he put me as an interviewer over. He was talking about how he appreciates my style. So I'm gonna play this for y'all. I'm sure I'll find it real quick. I love Facebook's easiness to find stuff. here. It's really cool. Bischoff has been on my show a lot. A whole lot. I'm just looking at a bunch of stuff. I'm looking at a bunch of different stuff on here. It's really cool. I've interviewed Eric Bischoff probably half a dozen times at least. Let's see. Let's try to find some videos. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find it. Real quick. It was a really encouraging pick, not pick, but yeah, I'll find it because I really wanted to show it real quick. Yeah, it keeps showing the ones where he was on the anniversary show. But it was really encouraging that he did that. There's a lot of Eric Bischoff posts that I've had because it says thank you for reaching out. You're a pro. I said that was a text that he sent to me. 400th episode, exclusive for Fan Buzz, exclusive for Digital Spy. I had him on episode 340. I interviewed him for Wrestling Inc. Inquisitor, it seems like, too. Well, for PNP, but for when I was writing for Inquisitor, it was for that. I'll find it. There's a lot of posts with Eric Bischoff, but I will. But yeah, just be unique. Lexi is asking, with the ease of Triple H being able to bring back quote lost talent, as well as already have dynamic storylines at the ready, does your analytical mind ponder about a possible inside coup on VKM? You know, it's interesting that you say that. Oh yeah, I found it. Okay, here we go. You know, it's interesting. It's interesting that you say that, Lexi, because it would not surprise me if there was an inside coup because like I said before, someone had to know from the inside, or someone who told from the outside who violated their NDA, which, you know, they would be in trouble for that. So it's not someone who violated an NDA. Because there's no discussion on that person being in trouble for violating the NDA, because they'll probably find out who it is, and then they'll say, okay, this person violated the NDA, and so Vince McMahon wouldn't get. I mean, like, you violated an NDA, so that's on you. You're in trouble for that. So if we take that off the table, that means that someone knew from the inside that told Wall Street Journal. So. And then, you know, that basically started the floodgates. So, this stuff is getting super, super duper spicy. All right. This is Eric Bischoff putting me over. Here we go. Share this real quick. There we go. Let's see if we do one of these deals. Yeah, there we go. Eric Bischoff, how are you tonight, sir?
Good, Chris. Good to be with you. And I just realized that, you know, every show, every host, every form of entertainment has its own personality, right? And I just realized what makes your show so unique.
Ooh, okay.
What makes it stand out from all the other shows I've done is you got this smooth jazz kind of vibe to your show.
Okay.
Even in the music, as I'm sitting in the waiting room ready to get going, it's just like smooth, comfortable, and it just feels good. So hats off to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's a lot coming from you since you were a media mogul. So
I actually feel more sophisticated as an individual after having spoken to you on your show. How classy your show is.
There you go. That's what Eric Bischoff thinks about me as an interviewer. So super cool. Super cool. Yeah, man, you have to make those type of lasting impressions. So yeah. Yeah, so that's the type of impression that you have to make, Ricky. So different, stand out. Cool. All right, let's see what else we got up in here. Got some good questions. Good vibe tonight on PNP, y'all. Good vibe on PNP tonight. I'm feeling the vibe on PNP. I've interviewed Mark Marrow. Would I like to interview him? I have not. The only reason why I haven't interviewed Mark Marrow is because Mark Marrow doesn't want to interview this late. I've talked to him on the phone before. And this late does not work for him. With the rapid rumors of Sasha and Naomi returning to WWE, do you think they would be introduce a dark horse team for the women's tournament, or will they each get single pushes? I don't really think they'll both get single pushes because I don't think there's room for either of them to get single pushes unless they split Raw and SmackDown. Then what? I mean, do you have? So I definitely don't want Bianca to be on the back burner. I mean, like, she's got momentum. She's still getting cheered. She's had the title for over 4 months now. You don't want to end that momentum because, wrestling fans are so fickle and they'll turn on you just like they did with Liv. But Bianca Belair's have that. She has that momentum. She has that, character. She has that, the interest with the crowd that people are still chanting EST. You're going to have your haters, of course, but Bianca Belair is still widely liked because her character is so big. She has a really big presence. So you don't want to mess that up at all. I mean, Bianca Belair should be the person of the future. Like, she should be what the whole women's division circled around, in my opinion. So you don't want to move that. So then that would leave you to Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. SmackDown has a pretty weak side there. Raquel's there. There's promise with her. I like Shotzi, but she's not really being booked good at all. They just threw in Baszler over, for Liv. Liv's getting booed out the arena now, which not a surprise. I've said this many, many times before. A honeymoon stage only lasts for a hiccup when the characters aren't strong enough. I mean, the honeymoon stage came because they wanted somebody different and new. And that's type of David and Goliath story, the childhood dream story. Sure. Okay. We'll cheer you for that. However, we're done with that now, and we don't want to cheer you anymore. So that's what happened. They just lost interest. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So I think the best thing for Sasha and Naomi at this point is for them to continue to be a team. And Vince Russo and I have talked about it before. I think that Sasha should be a heel, and I think that Naomi should be the representative of SmackDown. Although I think A Raw Women's Championship would look good on Naomi, but I think she should be the face of SmackDown. Chris got his first Facebook football book today. Not the one I wanted, though, because the one you wanted is the roster of the teams with the right years the players have been in the league and have the rookies on the same page. But the one I just got doesn't. Oh, man. Sad. Sorry to hear that, Chris. So across the text, Drew, who should be pushed to the moon to put him on Reigns level. So we think he's beating him. Drew definitely isn't beating Reigns. We'll see. I'm still siding with he will. Still siding with it. So we shall see. There are huge rumors concerning the USA Network pushing for Roman to lose the title. What are your thoughts? Who can you see revitalizing Raw? Yeah, good question. So here's the deal. I'm not opposed to that. I think it should be split championships, and I think they should ditch the Universal Championship. Actually, I think that whole concept is just garbage. I think bringing back the World Heavyweight Championship is the way to go. Bringing back the Big Gold Belt is the way to go. It just feels like Roman Reigns just has one title with two colors. I mean, like it feels like he's holding one title with two colors. So you should bring back the Big Gold Belt. It feels different. It feels regal. It feels prestigious. It has prestige to it. And he feels different if he's carrying two different looking belts. And what you do is, hey, if you split the titles, that's okay. Have a Raw Championship match, totally fine. And I think the person who should dethrone Roman Reigns is Bobby Lashley. But I think he should wait for that. I think Lashley Reigns is the only hard-hitting match that we haven't seen yet. We've seen different variations of different matches. We have not seen Reigns Lashley in a main event level, and I think that's what you do. That's what's left. Bobby Lashley. Lastly. I drink the vitamin water. No, I don't actually. No. Do I see Bailey's group winning the tag titles, defending them like DDP and Bam Bam? Where you don't know which two you're going to face. So basically the Freebird rule is what you're saying. That actually wouldn't be a terrible idea if they did a Freebird rule for that. I can see Dakota Kai and Io Shirai winning the championships, which I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to, actually. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I do think it would make sense because Sasha and Naomi wouldn't want to come back to get pushed, and so I imagine them either chasing it after the heels win, Io Shirai and Dakota Kai win it, and chase it that way. But then that puts Asuka and Alexa Bliss to the curve, which you can always turn Bliss heel and then feud against Asuka or something like that. That's always an option. If Drew does beat Reigns, it's purely because it's a UK pay-per-view and nothing else. Drew is still very mid-card. I wouldn't say that he's very mid-card. I know that you have a disdain for Drew McIntyre. I don't agree. I think Drew McIntyre is a fantastic talent. I think he's being improperly booked for his he's super solid in the ring. Not a big fan of the sword gimmick, but I think if he was a menacing, no-nonsense babyface like he was at Rumble 2020, actually, Rumble 2020, right before COVID. That was the time where he was red hot. And I think the way that they're booking him is terrible. Actually, I don't think they're not booking him to look stronger than anybody else. At least they're booking him to look like everybody else. And when you're in the main event spot in pro wrestling, you're not supposed to be booked like everybody else. You're not supposed to look like everybody else. You're supposed to look like the top of the card. You don't go to a boxing match or a UFC fight and everybody looks the same. They book from the bottom of the card to the top of the card, and the top of the card looks different. It looked like moneymakers. So, but I do think if they have Drew win it, it will be based on it being a UK pay-per-view, which again I'm not opposed to. I'm not opposed to that. Let's see here. Yeah, looks like they're writing him off for Elias, which I think that's a good idea. Yes, and I'm actually all for Rock versus Reigns. It doesn't need the title, and I'm not that guy saying stuff doesn't. I'm not that guy. I think it's a stupid idea to say that a character doesn't need to be champion. I think that's a stupid idea. I think it's a stupid concept. Like like anybody who comes in pro wrestling, they want to become champion. It's not like, hey, I'm cool with just being a good character. I don't need the belt. No, I wouldn't ever want to be relegated to that. Now, there's characters who doesn't need the title to be over, like an Undertaker. He doesn't need the title, but that shouldn't cause him to not ever get the title because he should be champion. That was one of the things that Jake Roberts, had an issue with his character was so strong that they felt like he didn't need the title. And that's ridiculous to me. Ted DiBiase, super heel, great heel character, should have been world champ. Jake Roberts, great babyface character at the time, should have been world champ. Bam Bam Bigelow, I think, should have been world champ. I mean, there's a lot of people who had strong characters who didn't win the title because they had strong characters. I think that's a silly concept. Your thoughts on USA winning championship on Raw? Just talked about that. Another draft, no point with people on both shows. They keep going back on both shows. They should make it like if USA's feeling some type of way, they should have a draft and they should be like true to their draft for sure. Don't know what happened to Veer. I heard saw he was on main events recently, but not as I don't know, I don't know how recently it was. But I mean, as expected. I mean, 6 months of promos. His gimmick was DOA, y'all. I mean, like Vince Russo and I would make it a thing every week. You know what I mean? But we put over numerous people who weren't put over. You know what I mean? Like I put over the Black Scorpion every week, and Vince came with me, and joined the fun. But the Black Scorpion was a horrible gimmick. It was an absolute flop. But I put him over. Black Scorpion's over more on my show than he was in WCW. Same thing with the bouncies. The whole bouncy gimmick that came from us thinking it was funny when they would do the whole bouncy thing. I started calling them the bouncies because when they would flex, they would do this and they would just bounce their arms. And I called them the bouncies. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. There was just two blonde bicep bouncies, and it went over. It went super over. We put Eva Marie over, and they weren't doing anything with Eva Marie. It got to the point that Eva Marie followed both Vince and I on Twitter because we kept putting her over every week on Raw. I mean, on Legion of Raw on our show. So like we've made a thing with putting over people who aren't being put over in the WWE, and we did that with Veer. And people were excited about Veer, but as I expected, it wasn't going to be a thing. What I think it was a botch. It was weird. It was, somebody did a car accident and somehow we're supposed to know someone wasn't paying attention to the car. And then it's the end of the match. And then you have him get arrested toward the end. There wasn't really any explanation why. It was weird. Too many loose ends. Now, I think Theory could lose his briefcase in a match before he gets a chance to use it. I can see him keeping his case, but maybe losing it when he cashes it in. But we have to think about this, and I said this in a previous show, in a recent show I had. Money Bank was in my birthday. Actually, it was on July, my birthday, and you have a year to cash in the contract, right? So that means that somehow in the next less than 11 months, Theory will be so good as a character that he would be the top name in all of professional wrestling. Theory would be the one who will steer the ship when it comes to transcending the business and making the business get more numbers than they do now. I don't see it. Chris Farley's an actor. He was on Saturday Night Live. How many monitors do I have? I have 2 in my podcast studio, and I have 3 on my office area. In my my office area, I have 3. So I have 4, and then a big screen TV that I use as a monitor and a TV. Actually, I hooked it up to make it a dual purpose, a monitor and a TV. So I have 5 monitors total 5 monitors total right now in my office / studio. I'm the only one who can't do that because I'm the only one of the few that don't have the credit cards and only have cash only because credit cards are the devil. Credit cards are the devil. Interesting. People have became millionaires using credit cards. So credit cards are not good if you can't manage your money well and you don't have the money to pay off credit cards. Credit cards is not free money, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons why people mess up on credit cards. They think it's free money, but it's not. It's a credit. Your credit score is trustworthy enough. It's really credit worthiness is what they measure your credit score. Are you worthy to have less hurdles to get a loan to pay back to whatever creditor or company or bank, right? So yeah, I mean, it's if you have the money to pay, you can actually bump your credit score quite a bit. Like I use my credit card a lot for different purchases. Even if I have the money, because I'll pay it right back. Because what that does is that boosts up your credit, and my credit is excellent right now. So yeah, it can be a very major thing to build up your credit score if you use it properly. But unfortunately, people use credit cards very improperly because they think it's free money, and they don't manage it well. Yeah. So I saw that he rang the bell. I saw the picture of him ringing the bell. I think that's fantastic. Glory to God for that. Yeah. I mean, like if someone violates an NDA, I mean they can be totally roasted for that. Let's see if that's I mean, I'm sure it's just like a fine or something like that. Um let's see here. Filing an NDA. Serious consequences. NDAs are legally binding contracts. If an employee has violated an NDA, then the company may take legal action. The most common claims in NDA lawsuits include breach of the contract. So yeah, breach of contract, which that person would have to pay a lot of money. A lot of money. Yeah. So definitely illegal for sure. I mean, it's a violation. I mean, like a violation is illegal. What's up, Tambando? Do I think that Keith Lee would come back to WWE? Do I think that he would come back to WWE if the opportunity suits itself properly? I think that, as a matter of fact, he would come back to the WWE if the money is talking right. I'm your guy. Favorite jazz singer? I like jazz singer, probably Ella Fitzgerald, like a back in the day, like jazz singer. Yeah, yeah. Chris is out. Chris is out of here. Have a good night, my man. I switched them on individually. I like your questions, Ricky. You ask cool questions. Boogeyman. Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Lexi is asking. Bray continues to drop hints of an imminent return to wrestling. Do you feel WWE would pay his asking price, or has the recent talent dump in AEW opened up the payroll for him? I think that it's interesting. I think that the talent surge in WWE has actually hurt him because they're bringing back people left and right. And it wouldn't be surprising if they brought back Bronson Reed or Jonah, which I hope they would. That's the one who I wish they bring back. So I'm a big fan of Jonah. I think he can be pushed incredibly heavily. And then the cons, they have money coming out their behinds. So clearly, with all the talent that's there, but if you're Bray, would you want to be in AEW? I mean, they're just flooded, like oversaturated with talent. And AEW is notorious for making you look good for like 3 weeks and then you just kind of blend in with everybody else. I mean, look at the House of Black. They're not standing out. They're blending in with everybody else. So I wouldn't want to touch the AEW if I was Bray. Especially for a character like Bray. You kind of already have a character like Bray with Malachi Black, and Malachi Black looks so blended in with everybody. Like he doesn't stand out whatsoever. People be talking about Cody, but Cody was the one who helped Alistair or Malachi Black stand out. He just looks like he's just super blended in now. Everybody really feels blended in AEW. Who is on your top wrestlers not in a WWE that on your bucket list that you haven't interviewed yet? The Rock. And I got close to The Rock and I got close to Batista. And I want to seal the deal, on them. And Chris Jericho. Those were my 3. Chris Jericho, the closest I got to Chris Jericho was I started a GoFundMe for Rico Constantino probably about 7 years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago. And Chris Jericho gave to the GoFundMe that I started for Rico Constantino. So he's all right in my book when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, I would want to interview him. So Elvis is calling it right now. Save this comment. I think the Creed brothers are the tag team that should beat the Usos. Would you agree? I don't watch NXT enough for that, and I would say no if their character isn't strong enough to a large audience. I mean, I don't care. I'm not an NXT enthusiast, so I hear the Creed brothers, and I'm like, who are they? I mean, I've seen them wrestle solid in the ring, but I'm like, okay, who are the Creed brothers? Why should I care? And if the production and the writing staff, if they don't do a good job at that, drawing my interest as a consumer of the product, no, I think they shouldn't be the ones. Prediction Super Bowl. I think I said this before. I don't know. I mean, I'll be biased and say, I'll be biased and say, Tennessee, and the NFC team. Sure, Tampa Bay, right? I mean, there you go. Or NFC. San Fran, maybe. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Excited Elias coming back. Yes, it seems like that is the case. Seems like that's the case. Lexi, certain main level talent are now being pushed. Ciampa, Rollins, Bailey. Do you see players like Keith Lee and Rusev trying to find their way back as you see an Undisputed Era return? Yeah, I can see all that, Lexi. Really, I can. I can see an Undisputed Era, but I think all of those, I think they're locked in AEW until 24. So we'll, all this honeymoon stage of talent coming back, that'll be well gone in 2024. So, I mean, we have to understand that Tony Khan isn't just going to let them off their contracts because he's trying to compete. So most of those wrestlers are locked in for the next couple of years at least. So, I mean, we won't see any of those people anytime soon. Vincent, Johnny Ace behind the talent releases and not Nick. Well, here's the deal. Johnny Ace is fire, so it won't be him anymore. And Vince retired. Yes, Reigns will be The Rock. Yes, indeed. Yes, but he should have had a title. I mean, again, there's a lot of people who had strong characters without a title. I already gave you some, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be a champion. And Piper won the Intercontinental Championship. Jake Roberts never won a single championship in the WWE. Ted DiBiase won the Tag Team Championship. He never won a singles championship in WWE. Bam Bam Bigelow never won a single championship in the WWE. So, I think that's stupid. Strong character or not, I mean, sure. I mean, Piper's a Hall of Famer, but I mean, come on now. You get a bigger share of the purse. You get a bigger share of the pay window, if you will, if you have the belt. Be back, Eva Marie. That'd be interesting. Judy Martin and Leilani Kai. Loomis was looking for Gargano. Again, make me care. Make me care because I don't. I don't. I mean, I don't. I'm not an NXT enthusiast anymore. I don't care. I'd be up for that. How's my back? Still very stiff. Not like severely hurting, but still very stiff. Any truth? It's all rumors right now. Oh, good. I'm glad you asked. It was very meh. I really didn't enjoy it, honestly. I go to those shows because I have some really close friends. We're all Christian black men who just like the fellowship. Really. I mean, I get into all the shows for free. That's the reason why I go. I really don't care. I mean, because the product is just very meh. It's just, super marky. I mean, people were chanting a bunch of heels. People weren't over. People were chanting for Brett Baker, who's the heel, and then they were kind of chanting for Thunder Rosa on the other side. But then I'm thinking, like, in my head, okay, well, Thunder Rosa is the one who needs to be over here. She's the one who needs to be cheered. But they don't care about that stuff in AEW. That's the reason why people feel the same. Everybody feels the same because it's always split chants and a bunch of spot fests. And that is such a mark, a negative mark on AEW because people feel the same because everybody wants to love everybody in the AEW. And if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And that's unfortunate. All right. Let's do this. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. dogs. I like toy dogs, preferably. I just had this conversation with somebody. I've actually binged on them at the gym. I watched all of season 2 up to Kurt Angle and about halfway through that right now. So I watched The Undertaker and Goldberg and the Bella Twins. I can see that happening in less than 5 years. No, I wouldn't. I've been a part of a Q&A with Sting, and he is my favorite wrestler. No, I don't. I did not enjoy it. I enjoyed hanging with my friends. Yes, I would interview. Absolutely. Malachi Black with a bad back, but he's been irrelevant for a long time. They failed. And Elias, my lighting lit off. There you go. There's a switch that's coming off. Don't know why it's happening. I think I may need a different extension cord. Politics actually running the empire, ascending to the top, not with Nick Khan there. No, I don't. No. I heard it was pretty good. I don't think Nia Jax would come back. Thank you, Chris. Ooh, ask that question next week. Good question. Give me some thought. Good night, Ricky and Dion and all the PNP Nation. PNP, I'll see you later. I'll see you